All right, here we are in week number 5 of Adventures in Science. Hard to believe we are on the last half of this awesome series. And today, we've got an incredible experiment called...
Lava Tower.
The Lava Tower.
Yes.
I lava you.
Lava you too.
I lava, get it? Lava. Yeah,
Yep.
Anyway, this
All
has
right.
got nothing to do with love. It's got to do with lava, not the kind of lava that comes out of a volcano.
No.
At least we hope. We've not tried this experiment officially. So who knows what's going to happen. But I believe in the people who have tried this experiment. And they tell me this will not explode like a volcano in any form or fashion.
Okay.
All right. So what you need is a bottle. This looks like a vinegar bottle. Or really any size. You can tell what size it is. You can find one like that's plastic. A funnel.
Funnel.
Unless you're really good at pouring. And then you just...
wouldn't risk it.
But me, I'm a funnel guy.
No.
You got some vegetable oil.
Yes.
Okay. You've got water.
Regular water.
Food coloring. We've got
coloring.
red. Because we like red.
Yes.
But you could use blue, green.
Yellow.
Probably not yellow. Yellow might not be, especially with the canola oil or the vegetable oil.
No to yellow.
Probably no yellow.
Okay.
And effervescent tablets for cold relief. Although I don't think they have to be just for cold relief. Could be like Alka-Seltzer. Could be effervescent tablets for tummy relief, which is why I take them.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes, help break up those gas bubbles. All right. We're going to put the funnel into the bottle.
Yes.
We're going to pour 1/3 of the water, not 1/3 of this water. We're going to fill the bottle 1/3
yes.
full of water.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Tell me when.
Can we hold it?
Yes, please.
And stop.
Up.
About there?
Maybe just a smidgen more.
Okay.
All right, now we're going to take the exact same amount and fill it with vegetable oil. Okay, there we go. That's going to go right on top. It looks like it's mixing, doesn't it? Ooh, a little glop there. Tell me when.
Right there?
Okay, stop. All right, now, oh, but wait a minute, it's not mixing.
Whoa.
Is that crazy or what? We've got water on the bottom, vegetable oil on the top. That's because vegetable oil is lighter than water, so it actually floats on top and sits on top of the water. Now, you may remove the funnel. We're going to take our food coloring, and we're going to put some drops in there. Okay?
How many?
I don't know. Let's see. 1.
Ooh.
2. It's kind of sitting there at the bottom of our 3 and 4. 4 drops. Okay? Whoa. Kind of cool because when it went through the oil like coagulated onto the drop. And now, ordinarily when you put, you can see this or not, ordinarily when you put food coloring into water, it's just going to disperse out. But if you can see, we got actually drops down there because when it passed through the vegetable oil, it got a coating around it. So we're going to put a few more in there. And the coating then stayed around the drop, and now it's sitting down in the water. All right, now it's time to make the lava. So we're going to take our effervescent tablets, and obviously it's too big to fit inside the bottle like this. So we're going to
Crumble it.
break it. We're going to then drop it in.
Is this what happens?
This is where we're not quite sure
Okay.
what's going to happen. We're hoping that there's not an explosion. But as you can see, we've got some bubbling happening. And then, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. We got some, see the bubbles? There are the bubbles. There are the bubbles. And we got red bubbles. And hopefully you can see that. That's really cool. I'm going to put some more effervescent tablets in there. Because our bubbles are then coming up into the canola oil. Whoa, now that is cool.
Whoa.
Look at that. Look at that. Womp, womp. In fact, let's add a little bit more canola oil, just so maybe. There we go. Now we're talking. Whoa, that is awesome.
That's crazy.
So you might want to have your kids, if you can, if they can't quite see it in the back, they can kind of all maybe walk by on their way to their scientific groups.
There you go.
So that they can see the awesomeness that is happening inside that lava lamp. And obviously you can keep adding effervescent tablets to keep it going, because once the effervescent tablets dissipate, then the bubbles stop, which you don't want. So just keep adding those, and it'll keep going until the kids all go by.
Very
And that is the lava tower.
Yes.
I still lava you.
I still love you too.
Okay, good. I love you. Anyway, yeah. All right, we'll see you in just a minute as we begin lesson number 5.
5.
All right, here we are, lesson 5.
Lesson number
Today
5.
we're talking about God is all powerful, which is one of the miracles and mysteries of the Bible, that God is more powerful than anything.
That's
So
right.
powerful that he controls everything in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he created the universe. Well, today's opening activity, we will be repeating
Yes.
the activity from week 1.
That's correct.
Which was
Atom shaker.
the Atom Shaker, one of my favorites of all time.
Yes.
If you remember, you have your Kleenex box
Tissue
that's got
box.
the part of the top
the
pour
lining,
open.
yeah.
You've got your atoms, which are just ping pong balls.
balls.
You could obviously paint them different colors if you want, if you're really
Yes.
creative and you don't have much to do. But once you get your ping pong balls ready, which we've got about 6 in there, but you can do
Get
as many.
10.
You could fill the whole thing if you want.
I mean, you could.
But the goal is to put the Atom Shaker on
Yes. With the belts.
with the belt, with the ping pong balls inside. And obviously this is child size, I hope. All right. And then on the count of 3, you've got one child with his full, the same amount of atoms in his as hers,
Yes.
or his and his versus
Yes.
hers. And then they shake.
Yep.
And
they try to
whichever
get all the
one
ping
to
pong
shake
balls out.
all of the atoms out
First.
wins.
Mhm.
And if they're shaking for like 20 seconds and they still aren't out, and you think that the kids are about to pass out, you might want
Whichever
to stop
one.
the activity and then count.
Whichever one has the least.
Whichever one has the least would be the winner. All right?
Yep.
And you can play that one, which I remember as we did this the first week, the kids really loved it.
They
and
did.
they all wanted to come up and try it.
Mhm.
So you could probably do this 20, 30 times if you wanted to.
It's true. You
But
have
don't
the time
don't
for
go
it.
like till 20 minutes into the hour.
No,
playing it.
only till service is
Only
supposed to
until
start.
service time is right. Which, wow, it's time for that.
Hey.
So I think we should begin our countdown and start lesson
All right.
number 5.
Let's do it.
Okay, today we have got a great experiment called a lava tower. Let's see, I'm gonna need some water. Got a funnel already here. Pour some water in there. Maybe a little bit more. That looks pretty good. All right. Let's see what else.
How's she go there, Professor?
Oh, going good. How are
Good.
you? What you been
Oh.
up to?
Nothing much, little this, little that, but I'm ready for another awesome day here in the lab, and we've got another full class here.
Yes, we certainly do. And I'm getting an experiment ready for that. We're going for just a little bit later. But I think we've got
Interesting.
everything ready. So
Okay.
let me introduce myself. I am Professor Mike.
And I am Professor Annie.
And this is the Adventures in Science Laboratory, a research and development facility where we look at the miracles and mysteries of the Bible.
That's right, and it is also where we do research down the hall from Dr. Oppenheimerstein and his robot Flask. And Dr. Opp is working on something that he is sure will win him the Plutonium Award.
As always.
Yes.
All right. Well, as you can see around our wonderful lab, we have lots of different things that are highly breakable,
Yes.
highly dangerous,
Yes.
and potentially highly explosive.
Yes.
So, knowing all of that, we have some rules that you need to follow. Rule number 1,
Rule
you
number
need
1.
to stay in your seat at all times unless told to get up by somebody that is an adult.
That's right, and rule number 2 is no talking while we are up here on the AIS stage talking.
That's right. One of my favorites.
Mhm.
Rule
It's a
number
good one.
3, keep your hands and your feet to yourself.
To yourself. And lastly, rule number 4 is to participate in everything we do and to have fun.
Yes, that's one of my favorites too. And I think we should kick off having some fun by standing up
All right,
and
stand up,
singing
stand up.
our Adventures in Science theme song.
Here we go.
Let's shout out loud to the God who saves. Shout, 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 shout. Find enough room now for one last motion. Spread your arms while I do the explosion. Shout out loud to the God of heaven. Shout out loud to the God who saves. Shout out loud to the God of heaven. The only He deserves our praise. Shout out loud to the God of heaven. Shout out loud to the God who saves. Shout out loud to the God of heaven. The only He deserves our praise. And only He deserves our praise. Shout, 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 shout.
All right,
Yay,
I
good
love
job.
that song, a great worship song. And you guys, as always, did some great singing.
They did do a good job singing, but why do we do that?
Well, we sing because we want to worship God.
Well, I know that, but why do we worship God?
Oh, wow. Well, there are a lot of reasons why we worship God. One of those reasons is because God is all powerful.
Okay, well, what does all powerful mean exactly?
Oh, well, to understand all powerful, we probably need to talk about power.
Okay.
Talk about power. Oh, wait a minute. A couple of nights ago, I saw a show on TV.
Oh, well, what was it about?
Well, it was a strongman competition.
Oh.
And in this competition, there was this guy, and he was so powerful that he took a shoulder strap, tied it to a truck, and hauled the truck on his back, pulling it
What?
up a hill. It was almost like a mountain.
Wait, so he pulled a truck all by himself?
Oh, yes, but there's more.
My word.
There was another guy who then came along and said, well, I'm more powerful than that. He strapped a bus
No.
to his back and hauled it up the same hill.
Wait,
Unbelievable.
whoa. So you're telling me a guy pulled a bus?
Oh, yes. But there's more than that. another guy came along and he said, well, I'm even more powerful than that.
Oh, dear.
And he strapped 2 buses onto his back and took them up the hill.
Oh, my
This is
word.
unbelievable.
That is I can't imagine anyone being more powerful than that. Oof. Some muscles.
Well, yeah, you're wrong there.
Huh?
Well, if there was a guy who was able to pull 3 buses,
Yeah.
or 5 buses, or 10 buses, or even 1,000 buses up a hill, he would still not be more powerful than God.
Well, really?
Yep, God
Goodness.
is more powerful than anyone or anything we can imagine. In fact, God is so powerful, he controls everything in the universe. He controls all of the stars in the sky at night. He controls the sun. He controls the moon. He controls things on this planet like storms and the ocean. God is so powerful that he does all of those things.
Wow, that is really amazing that God is that powerful.
Exactly, and that is one of the reasons why we worship him, which
Okay.
just so happens is my main point
Oh,
for the day.
all right.
Let's take a look at it. Take a little bit of the yellow. We pour it into the blue, which causes a chemical reaction and an
boom.
explosion, which you never like to see in the lab, but
No.
it's
This is a
good
good
if
one.
it results in an awesome main
Yes.
point like that, which says God is more powerful than anything, like I talked about earlier. So I should worship him. So let's get a couple of kids up here, shall we?
All right.
To help
I'll
us with
choose
some
from over
motions.
here.
All right.
You come on down.
Very good. Come on up here. All right. There's a lot of words in this, so we won't do
Yes.
something for every word. We'll just
Okay.
kind of do some things for several words at a time.
Okay.
All right. So how about God is more powerful?
Oh, show the muscles. So what we do,
So
God.
God
is
is
more
more powerful.
powerful.
Let's do powerful. Poses. Like the Mr. Universe. Okay? So God, do whatever you want.
'Kay.
Or multiples, like I
Got
just
it.
did. So God is more powerful. Okay. Ow. Than anything.
Than anything. Oh, than anything.
Anything.
Okay.
Anything. So I.
So I point your eyeballs.
Oh, I like that. So I.
So I
Get it? I, not
should
E-Y-E.
worship.
I.
Oh, they've got one. Worship.
Should
Like we were in our
worship
song earlier.
him. I like that.
Worship him.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
kind of a way that we worship God. Because in the Bible, you know, they would worship God by raising their hands. We worship God sometimes by raising our hands.
That's right.
In church, when we sing songs, et cetera, et cetera. So, here we go. God is more powerful than anything, so I should worship him. Let's practice together with all of us.
Okay.
So, God
God
is
more powerful
than anything.
anything.
So I should worship him.
Him.
Or we could go at the end, a big
Him.
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 Although last week we learned that God is everywhere, so we could go. Since he's not
Point
just up
everywhere.
there, he's everywhere.
Okay. All right.
If you weren't here last week, you should have been, because we learned a great lesson about God being everywhere. All right, on the count of 3, we're going to do that, and we're going to see who can do it the best.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
God is more powerful
than anything. So I should worship him.
Yay, that was good.
Nicely done, nicely done. All right, good job, everybody. You
Good
guys
job.
give
Have
me
a
high
seat,
five.
have
Good
a
job.
seat.
Go ahead and sit down. All right, very good. Well, you know what? I take great comfort in the fact that God is in control of everything and that God is more powerful than anything. In fact, when I tell people about God's power, I like to bring this verse up.
Oh.
Should we take a look at it?
Yeah,
It's our
let's do
Bible
it.
verse for today.
All right.
A little green, a little purple, a little green again, a little more purple, a little red going up through the tube. We got some heat added
green.
pressure, green goo forming
Oh,
into our Bible
nice.
verse for today.
This is a longer
All right,
one.
shall we read this together?
Sure.
All right. On the count of 3, we'll go slow.
'Kay.
1, 2, 3. All glory, majesty, power, and authority are His before all time and in the present and beyond all time. Amen. Jude 25b NLT. We don't usually see verses out of the book of Jude. So it's really cool to see that. And there's no verse or there's no chapter before 25b. You know why that? Why that is? Because Jude only has one chapter. So all you say is just Jude 25b, not Jude 125b or 220 because there is no
There
second
you go.
chapter, Jude.
There you go.
All right, so all glory, majesty, power, and authority are His before all time and in the present and beyond all time. Excuse me. Amen.
You know, that's a really good verse, and I'm going to try to remember this one.
Well, I'm glad that you're going to try to remember it because that's why we do Bible verses here in Adventures in Science Lab, is so that you can learn them and remember them. You know what? This verse is pretty cool because it says that there is no one more glorious, more majestic, more powerful, or has more authority than God. And because of all those things, that is why we should worship Him.
Well, do you think Dr. Oppenheimerstein knows about this verse?
Yeah, probably not. But you know what? Just by coincidence, Dr. Oppenheimerstein is doing some experiments involving power today. Could be dangerous. So why don't we sneak our way down the hallway, peek inside his lab, and see what he's up to.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's go.
Oh my goodness, that was so crazy that God controls the weather and He made the sun stand still.
I know. That just goes to prove that God is more powerful than anything, and God is in control of everything, which, as I said earlier, is just one of the many reasons that we worship God. In fact, speaking of worship, I think we should take some time and worship God right now by everybody standing to your feet, and let's sing our second Adventures in Science theme song.
You put out the stars one by one, and you gave them their names. By design, made them shine, and you set them in place. Every night they light as your glory displays. So we praise all your limitless ways. You are limitless, God.
Come on, hey, you a limitless God. Yeah, I am created, I am love, by the maker of the stars above. Come on, form me with the purpose to serve and show the way. See, love is my call, I don't choose, no, it's one and all. See, I was made to sacrifice, to live my life for the sake of Christ.
We're not an accident, we're not a mistake. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. You form with good intent, and you ordain our days in your limitless ways. You put out the stars one by one, and you gave them their names. By design, made them shine, and you set them in place. Every night they light as your glory displayed. So we praise all your limitless ways. You are limitless, God.
Yeah, come on, yeah, no greater love can a man defend, but to give his life for his friends, that's the kind of love that'll never, ever end. The first will be last, the last will be first, the greatest indeed, the least of these, the servant of all is the one who wins.
We're not an accident, we're not a mistake. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. You form with good intent, and you ordain our days in your limitless ways. You put out the stars one by one, and
All
Good
right,
job.
nicely done. Well, we've learned a lot about worship,
Yes.
and we've learned a lot about God, that he is all-powerful,
Powerful.
and that he controls everything. And we're going to learn a little bit more about those things in our Adventures in Science scientific small groups.
Ooh, all right.
But, Eureka! Before we do that, we need to go back to my science experiment that I was working on a little bit
Ooh,
earlier.
okay.
Because this is called a lava tower.
A lava tower.
Yes, something you could easily do at home. All right. I've already prepped a little bit. This here empty bottle, plastic bottle, I put water in there,
Okay.
just regular water. Now I'm going to take vegetable oil.
Okay.
This is 1/3 water. I'm going to put 2/3
Okay.
or twice as much water into the bottle. Now something really cool is going to happen. It's not really all the excitement. You tell me when to stop.
Go a little bit more, a little bit more. Stop.
All right, now this isn't the science experiment, but this is really cool. Because as you can see, we got separation here.
Yes.
We got our water, which was always there, and it's still on the bottom.
Yeah.
But we got the oil, it's sitting on top of the water, which is kind of crazy because we put 2/3. I mean, it's twice as much oil on top of the water. You'd think it would just sink right in.
It's true.
The reason it doesn't is because the vegetable oil is actually lighter than water. And if it's lighter than water, it's going to rest on top of the water, which is what's happening.
There you go.
All right, now we're going to remove the funnel.
Is that my job?
Yes. And I'm going to put my glasses on because you never know.
Wait, should I put mine on then?
Well, if you'd like, sure. I'm going to take the food coloring, which is just ordinary food coloring that you might have at home, and I'm going to put some drops into our lava tower.
Ooh, oh, dear.
Whoa, did you see that? Oh!
Ooh.
Now that's cool because ordinarily when you put food coloring into water, it's going to make the water turn that color.
Yeah.
But as you can tell, because it went through the canola oil or the vegetable oil, they're actually now just drops of that
Huh.
stuff on the bottom. Okay? So we're going to put a little bit more in here.
Oh, you can see it as it goes.
Isn't that cool going through
You
the
can
oil?
see you can see the coat of
Yeah.
oil around it.
All right. Well, obviously, the food coloring is heavier than the oil as
Yes.
well. And it looks
Going
like
right
the
down
food
to the
coloring
water.
is now heavier than the water because it's laying on the bottom. All right. Now, we've already got a few bubbles happening here. I'm going to shake this up a little bit because we do want the food coloring to mix
Spread.
into the water a little bit. Okay. There we go. We got some nice
Whack it
red
a couple
color. Now I'm
times.
going to take some effervescent tablets.
Okay.
Which is just like Alka-Seltzer or anything like that you might take if you've got a tummy ache. But you can't fit the whole thing into the bottle, so I'm
No.
going to break it up, and then I'm going to drop it in. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to have some lava bubbles that are going to come
Ooh,
from the water up
excited.
into the canola oil.
'Kay.
All right?
Ready.
Now, what's going to happen is you may not be able to see it in the back, so I'm going to start this experiment going,
Okay.
and then I want everybody to kind of get up and walk by as they're on their way out to their small group so that they can
Gotcha.
see
Good
it
thinking.
up
Good
close.
thinking.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Why don't you break that one up and then you can put it in
Ooh,
almost
exciting.
immediately after I put this in. Here we go. Boink, boink, boink. Put that in there. You see bubbles happening. Look at those bubbles. And more bubbles. Oh, look at the red
Whoa!
bubbles. Oh, look at that. That is, whoa.
That's so cool.
That is really, really cool. All right, come on up by here on your way out to your scientific small
Goodness.
groups. You can see that really well.
That's so cool.
And we are going to, as you pass by,
It's like a
we'll-
little tornado in there too.
It is a little tornado. Wow, that's incredible. Look at that. All right, keep going on by. Go ahead out to your small groups. Keep going. Yes, we'll add some more effervescent tablets to make sure everybody can see it. That is awesome. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to add some more here as you guys keep passing by. Why don't you add, you want to add some more?
Oh, sure.
Ooh, a double tornado. Keep coming. Keep it going. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh, how many you got there?
I broke it up into little
Oh,
pieces.
nice. Whoa!
Yeah!
Whoa! Look at that.
Oh my word, look at it.
Now it's really going nuts. I don't
Coming
know.
from the top,
There was some
too.
extra juice in that one you had. All right, good job. All right, we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. All right, come on in, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hopefully you learned a little bit more or a whole lot more about how God is all powerful. And he's so powerful, he is in control of everything. All right,
Yes.
everybody find your seat because it's time for us to do one of my favorite activities here in the
Oh,
Adventures
man.
in Science Research Lab, and that is...
The mouse maze.
Yes!
Now, it is time for
The mouse maze.
All right,
what
we
color
want you to
you
pick a
choose?
color
to win.
of one of the mice. They're going to go through a maze.
I'm
Whichever
cheering for blue.
team wins is the winner.
Go blue.
All right, I'm going to choose
Blue.
red.
Blue.
All right, here we go.
Blue,
Red,
blue,
red,
blue,
red, red.
blue,
Now they're going to go
blue,
through the maze.
blue,
Oh my
let's
goodness,
go,
we got a little bit
blue.
of a
Yeah, blue's
scuffle
the
going on
lead.
there.
Let's
And
go,
who's
blue.
left?
Let's go.
My color.
Let's
No.
go, blue.
Red.
Let's go.
We're trying to get to the cheese.
Let's go, blue.
Come on, red.
Let's go.
What is red
Where's
doing?
red?
Okay,
Go,
that's right. What
red.
color
Go
did you
blue,
choose?
Blue, blue. I chose
Blue? Blue is going to win, I think.
Blue.
Wait a minute. Oh, no.
No.
Wait a minute. Yes, it happened again. My mouse won. If I do believe that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times that I chose the right mouse. How many of you chose red with me? Just about everybody.
Crazy
You guys
how
are
that
smart
works.
just like I am. All right, good job. Not that you're not smart. You're just not very lucky in the mice that you choose.
Okay, all right.
All right. Well, now that we've done that, while you were out, Dr. Oppenheimerstein was getting ready to do this crazy experiment. And I said,
Yes.
wait! Don't do it until we get the kids back in the room.
He likes an audience anyway.
He does like an audience, and in order for him to proceed through the steps of the experiment,
He needs our help.
he's got to have their help answering the questions. Because every time he throws something into that transmorgifier thingy-wingy thing, conductinator, he's got to have them to answer the question in order for that thing to open so we can throw something in.
Gotcha.
So, without any further ado, it's time for...
Now, it is time for experiments with
Dr. Oppenheimerstein.
That crazy guy. Look at him. Yes.
Got good dance.
He does. Got the booty. Yes, scientific discovery.
Discovery.
Whatever that will be. Well, the only way we can find out is if we answer these questions, which have to do with the lesson that we're talking about today.
Yes.
God is all powerful. All right. Which one of these ways are ways you can worship God this week? A, by eating, sleeping, and going to school. B, by playing video games, watching TV, and chatting online. By C, praying, reading your Bible, and singing to God. Or
Okay.
D, daydreaming, earning money, and talking on the phone. Now, you may not have specifically talked about this in your small group. Some of you may have. But I think the answer is fairly obvious on which one. Now, really, you can worship God by doing all of those things. If you're thinking about God and thinking about how much he has blessed you and you're thanking him for those things. But there is one answer that's even more correct than all of the other four. So, without any further ado, how many of you think it's A, B, C, or D? Most of the hands went up for C.
C.
Is that correct? Yes! The door has opened up and Dr. Oppenheimerstein throws his usual bicycle horn into it. And
Question number 2.
now we need to get the door to open again, and the way to do that is by answering question number 2, which you will go ahead and do. And hopefully you'll get to the end. And if you don't, try to skip to number 8 so that we can see
What happens?
whatever happens, because something
Yes.
crazy happens every week when that thing finally explodes and then something is left
It's true.
and we don't know what it is. One way they can find out is answer question 8. So if you do 1, 2, and then 8, or you do 1 through 8, doesn't matter, just get to number 8 before you let the parents in, which they are here right now. So as your parents are coming in, let's everybody stand to our feet and let's sing one more time our Adventures in Science theme song.
Yeah.